Hello and welcome to the editorial analysis of the Hindu. Today we shall be discussing the editorial of the 13th of July. But before we begin, please take a look at our free workshop that we are planning to conduct on the 20th of July. This will be a free workshop with one of our toppers, Dr. Srikanth Coming. He had scored an All India rank of 680, and this workshop is what will be conducted at our Bangalore center. So all those of you who can reach us, please try and reach us. These are our contact details. For those of you who are our online subscribers, for you all, we shall try and provide a footage of our program. So that's about our program. Let's continue with our discussion. The topic for today is the game of chicken that can end in disaster. The context here is with regards to the US-Iran relations. The article is highly repetitive. There are so many articles that are coming on US and Iran. In my personal opinion, you should be prepared with this topic, but not over prepared with it. You will have to know where to draw a lines because time is what is less for the mains people. So I will also be discussing only the relevant points that have been highlighted in this particular editorial. So coming to the issues, first and foremost, you should know what has happened. The update here is that Iran has retaliated to US instigations. Finally, Iran has said that it will now go ahead with, and it will continue its uranium enrichment way above the permitted limit of 3.67%. So that is what is the response that has come from Iran's side. This is also in the wake of shooting of US drone, a unmanned US drone is what was shot down over the Strait of Hormuz, which further escalated the tensions between US and Iran. Now also what you should know here is about the Joint Comprehensive Program. This agreement, Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, is what was an agreement that was decided between Iran plus the P5+1 countries, which included the powerful 5 plus Germany. So all of them had come on to this agreement, which had downed these tensions. But this agreement is what was signed on, first and foremost, you should know, 14th of July 2015. So this agreement has now finally come to an end with Iran retaliating. So this is what is important. This is a mayhem in the entire West Asia. There are a number of allies. For example, US has its own ally. Saudi Arabia is the ally of US. UAE is a US ally. Israel is a US ally in West Asia. On the contrary, even Iran has its own allies in Lebanon, in Yemen, in Syria. So all of these are the allies that these two powers have in this particular region. And if a war is what does take place, then definitely there will be an entire disturbance of the West Asian region. So that is what is important. Also, what you need to know here is with regards to the demands that US is posing. Now, the demands that US is posing from Iran are what are unacceptable. The first demand is that Iran should completely stop its nuclear program. Iran should stop all the support that it is giving to Hezbollah and Hamas, which the US believes are terrorist organizations. Also, the US wants Iran to stop building its ballistic missile program. So these are the demands that US is having, and on its own part, Iran has refused to succumb to these kind of demands. US has also withdrawn the exemption that it had given to 8 countries, that is China, India, Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, Turkey, Italy, and Greece. They were continuing to import oils from Iran. So the US has now withdrawn this particular exemption to these particular countries, and this has what has resulted in complete ban of exports of oil from Iran, and as a result of which Iran's economy is highly impacted. So that is one issue that is emerging. What is important analysis here is with regards to politics that is taking place in Iran. Now you have to understand that many a times, even if a decision is wrong, the leaders have to take it as a political compulsion. What is happening in Iran is that the entire opposition is criticizing the present government because it was this present government which had gone and signed this particular agreement with the P5+1, and now the entire opposition is against the government that they had signed this agreement, and no benefit is what could be reaped to Iran. Rather, Iran was cheated. Also, the supreme leader in Iran, that is the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, he has withdrawn his support to the JCPOA, and in this backdrop, what is important is that Iran finally has to take a stand, and the leaders in Iran have now succumbed to the domestic pressures, and they have to take these retaliatory actions against US. Now the entire problem is that there is a scenario in between these two countries where a war is what is being predicted by several experts, which will not be in the interest or in the global interest. That is what is the entire analysis. US-Iran is important, definitely it is important, but it might result in some of the students focusing too much on this topic. Please study about this topic, but definitely draw your lines and boundaries also. So that's about this particular article. This was the only article today. There's another article on the National Education Policy, the draft National Education Policy of 2019, but the entire article is totally a criticism of the education policy. These kind of negative articles are what I cannot welcome, or I cannot advocate to all of you all as relevant for you UPSC. UPSC will never welcome such kind of a negative stance. So the article seems to be a clear-cut agenda against the government. It is completely criticizing the policy, and I did not find it much of relevance for you. So definitely we will have scope to discuss the education policy somewhere else also. So we'll take it up then. So that's about this particular article. Now before we end, take a look at our program. We are starting a mains test series for general studies. This will include 12 tests as well as 10 essay tests. This will be available both online as well as offline. For those of our students who will be taking it as an online program, we shall provide you with a feedback over a phone call. A telephonic feedback is what is going to be available as per our program. So these are our contact details. All those of you who are interested, please try and get in touch with us. So that's about this particular program, and that's about our discussion today. I thank you all for watching the video.